So today we're going to be working on the flower commission, and I picked up another commission that I need to start working on today too. And as much as I love that I'm making money, I probably need to start working towards my own works as well. And I really want to knock this out of the park if I finish today. Now, something I have been researching lately and thinking about pretty hard is that, I bought this off-brand of white, and I hated it. It was an off-brand titanium, and then I bought the normal brand of titanium that I normally go with. And to be honest with you, I didn't like it either. And, it's been a really difficult year for me. I've had my ups and my downs, and I've used, there was a time that I could barely afford paint or couldn't afford paint at all. And during that time, I also ran into people that stores that had paint outages. So I couldn't get titanium white. And this was during a time that I was painting some of my bigger and more well-known pieces. So what I ended up actually using was zinc white or mixing white. There was a 4-foot by 4-foot piece that sold a while back called Violence. And that piece, I'm pretty sure, had titanium white, zinc white, and mixing white. And that's probably the best skin tones I've ever done. There's more subtlety in her skin and more blotchiness. It's more realistic than any other skin tone. And there's a piece that I did with Catherine on the lake where one side's done really well and the other side looks too pale, even though I used, a photo reference, and I painted that part first. And I'm willing to bet money that's back when I had titanium white, and the other part was probably later on when I probably had to use other paints and I was experimenting. So now, coming back to this, because I had taken a break, I have my titanium white because it's finally back in stock, but now I'm realizing that I don't really want it. I want it, but it's not the only white paint that you need to do this. And that sounds stupid to people out there on the YouTube land that know a lot more about painting than I do, because it's well known that you have so many different types of white and oil painting for a reason. And I never went to art school. I'm barely taking prerequisites in art school now, and I'm not taking design 1 until next semester. So I'm still learning all this stuff. And I did research it. I Googled it, and I watched videos on how zinc white is more translucent, and it's more it doesn't pastelize colors, so it doesn't eat the color as much as maybe titanium white will lighten, eat the color, and it's more opaque, so it really dominates the palette. And I realized that for my skin tones, I probably need a zinc white. And for that one, which the painting I spoke of earlier, I know I used a lot of mixing white, and I got very frustrated with it because it wasn't lightening my color. And I remember that, and I think I'm going to end up buying just zinc white and maybe mixing white and just using them all in tandem until I can hammer out why I need mixing white. Because I don't know that I do. I think I could probably pull it off with just zinc, but I don't want to be wrong. And anyway, for this, I'm going to only have titanium, and I think because of the nature of what it is, it should be okay, or where I'm just going to say I'm going to make it work. But I am learning a lot about the subtleties of oil painting. And keep in mind, I've only been doing oils for about a year. My first oil painting ever was, what was it? I think it was the 8-foot piece. The 8-foot by 8-foot piece that I did. And I was just like, boom, this is my first oil painting. Oh my God, here we go. And that was a year ago. Is this green to you? So I feel like I've come a long way with oils in a year. And I want to keep going further. And I know to do that, I have to keep doing new things, keep trying new things, and keep practicing some of the same. And it's an expensive practice. Paints are not cheap, unfortunately. So weird that I'm so pink to me. I also recently was at a friend's house, and we had a board game night, and they happened to have a pair of those glasses that shows you what it's like to see in color, because I'm colorblind. And everything looked weird and orange and just weird. And one of the gentlemen there, I showed my artwork to him, and I asked him what colors he saw, and he saw green. He saw green in everything, and I don't see green, so I was shocked. I was a little heartbroken that he saw green and all the things that I had made, and I realized that I will never see my art the way other people do, and other people will never see what I see. And I think that's pretty disheartening. Like, people will never see my paintings the way I intended them to be seen, and transversely, I can never experience them the way other people do. Because if people really like them, maybe they're seeing something better than what I'm seeing. Because you know, and it's just a little sad, and it really brought me down for a hot minute. But I guess it's also kind of magical. You know, like if you weren't me, that might seem interesting. You know, that might seem fascinating. That's the way it works for me. So I guess that's nifty, and I'm excited about that. But I know now it's going to bug me forever what I'm not seeing. Oh, also, I managed to pick up some mineral spirits so I can properly clean my goddamn brushes. Which is nice, because my brushes are fucked up. Other news, while I'm setting all this up, I started talking to the Velo Fellow about potentially hosting the next Masquerade Ball, which is really good because I need a venue. I really need a venue for December, and I'm pretty gosh dang hell bent now on doing a show in December. So it'd be really nice to find something before the end of October, because I would like at least 1 month to promote it, and that's very important to me. In the background here, you can see that I'm editing video. And that is very much the show that you are currently watching. Show. And, the show. Because my workload overlaps sometimes, and I don't have the ability to just work on one thing. I'm also in the midst of looking for cardboard, because I have been talking to a very interesting venue about potentially doing my circus play in its entirety, and I'm talking to other, I guess, producers and event coordinators and directors in my field. I'm trying to say this as vaguely as possible, about helping me with that and making this full-on play. And to do that, I need to actually have the backdrops and everything. So I was going to do it all in plywood, but one of my associates suggested I try cardboard because theater is about an illusion. And I have been stuck in this thing with my art for years now, where I feel the need to make everything authentic. So it's like, oh, that's metal, it's real steel. You know, oh, it looks like wood, then it's real wood. It's not veneered, it's not particle board, it's fucking wood. You know, that's how I approached my drafting table. And if I kicked my drafting table, it'll break my goddamn foot. And if I kicked this drafting table, I'd break it. In fact, I already did break it just by putting my foot on it one day because I was resting my foot. So like things aren't meant to last anymore. So that made me obsessed with authenticity and just honest products made out of honest materials. And I realized that affected the way I approached my swords and my sculptures for a long time. And that's good, and that brought a really cool value to a lot of my work. But approaching circus and theater is not maybe the best way to do that. and I'm having to unlearn that and learn and relearn the ways to best work with different materials now, and that I love that as an artist who's been doing this for a long time. I love that I'm still able to learn because some people hit a cap and they can't, and I'm just thankful and grateful that I'm still able to change and adapt. Um, so anyway, I am on the hunt for masses of cardboard that I can paint and use as props, and backdrops for the play. So today, and I say that, but dude, I have so little time, and sometimes when I have the time, I'm so exhausted I don't do anything at all. But I hope that today I make it over to Lowe's. And maybe a few other stores so that I may find cardboard. But I also know that I have one or two friends coming over. Shit. And I have someone coming to look at my truck, another friend of mine who's helping me out because I just bought a truck that died on me, even though I just fucking bought it. And I need to probably make time to do schoolwork. I just have too much going on, and I feel like, and I hate that because once I get so far behind in certain things or anything, if I'm behind far enough, it gives me extreme anxiety, like just extreme anxiety, because I have a need to have things balanced and in good standing. So it really bothers the shit out of me. So I'm hoping today that I can remedy that. Now, a big part of my stress is being behind on my commissions and being behind on editing the show and posting it. And of course, those are all like OCD things because I know that the show is not important, but it's going to eat at me the same way that a bill unpaid would. And I think I'm handling all of it pretty well, considering I know very well that some of my bills are very far behind, like with my car. But that's barely my fault given the circumstances. I've also been told, or accepted, I guess, into an apprenticeship in tattooing starting in November. And as much as I don't know how I'm going to make that work, I'm very excited because I think it'll actually help me generate the capital that I need to actually be able to start building some of these props. So anyway, onward, outward, love it. So first what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some titanium white. This is the lesser brand, but you know what? Given that it is titanium, it's actually pretty okay. Now when I go to Michael's later today to buy zinc white, I might very well buy the off-brand because at first I thought there was something wrong with the paint, but I really don't think there is. I think it's a fine paint. It's cheaper. And I'm sure that some of those art snobs out there might have a problem with it, but I'm not one of those people. What my problem was that I chose the wrong paint. I chose titanium when maybe I should have put more money into it and bought titanium and zinc and probably mixing white. So we're creating a messy ass palette here. You've got your titanium white, you've got your dyke brown, you've got your gold, you've got your orange, and I'm adding some black, which this looks like it's the last for this tube. Okay. And if this cup here is linseed oil. It'll help thin out the oil. And the cup behind it is mineral spirits that will clean the brush, but you can't leave them sitting in it for too long because it will eat the brush. It'll eat the everything. Oh, that's the golden highway. Alexa, play.
What do you want me to play?
Music on like.
I couldn't find that. I don't know music.
Alexa, play Studio Ghibli. Alexa, play Studio Ghibli. Alexa, Play Miyazaki.
A good 5 songs you requested. Shuffle songs by Selkie on Amazon Music.
Alexa, play music from the original Motion Picture soundtrack of Howl's Moving Castle. Alexa, play Howl's Moving Castle.
Here's Howl's Moving Castle theme by Cloud Henry on Amazon Music. By the way, I can notify you breaking news updates. Would you like that?
Yes.
Great. Which provider do you prefer? CNN, NPR, or Fox News?
CNN.
Okay, CNN will send you news alerts on mobile devices. You can manage your notifications in the Alexa app under settings.
Alexa, can you play What Like That?
A good 5 on Amazon Music.
Can you play music from Howl's Moving Castle? Alexa, can you play music from Howl's Moving Castle?
Howl's Moving Castle soundtrack by Joe Hisaishi on Amazon Music.
Alexa, play music from Audio.
How do you want to click on by Cyrus and Greg Jones on Amazon Music.
Play music from Keys Delivery Service.
Keys Delivery Service soundtrack music collection by Joe Hisaishi on Amazon Music.
All possible in my way without you. Alexa, play music on Kira.
Here's some music by Kia on Amazon Music.
Alexa, listen to Anime.
Here's a playlist for you. Naruto Naruto anime services on Amazon Music. Cowboy Bebop original music soundtrack sequels on Amazon Music. Sure, let's try playlist. Naruto Naruto anime services on Amazon Music.
No. Alexa, no. Alexa, let's find the soundtrack.
Silent Hill, Yankees selection of King Credit and Fury Nova on Amazon Music.
But also, pause. The address 10 Eagle Street, page 2 for that. But we all part of Street. So the church. It used to be a church. I'm part behind my blue drop. Last time. Like. Alexa, keep doing that, Stacey Jen. Alexa, could you play?
Recently, I saw music.